How's it going, people? Today I'm going to be talking about War of the Worlds, the 1953 version in Criterion edition. Yes, I'm going back to Criterion. I have the time to do it right now. We're in kind of a lull, and yeah. So without any other further ado, I'm going to go straight into the movie itself, and I will just say that this movie is cheesy and hokey as hell. It is a very nice contrast to the Tom Cruise version that came out in 2005, and I actually reviewed that version last month when it came out in 4K. You know, that vision was so heavy-handed and just very self-serious. It was a very serious take. This is the very hokey, more fun take. And it's just a really nice contrast. I feel like this movie really benefits from having that stark, different contrast that Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise did. This movie is going to have a political message to it about how we react to assaults on our country and how we react to assaults on other countries and how we all work together, and all of that is concerned. It is going to be here, but it is just going to be kind of on the surface. It's real surface level. It's not going to get that deep into it because of the fact that this movie really doesn't forget to have fun, and that is the real important part to take away from here. And like for instance, the amount of time that is spent on how society reacts to the alien invasion in the Steven Spielberg version, it takes like 45 minutes of that movie. In this movie, it is literally just one 5-minute scene. And you know what? That is just this movie's sensibility, and I grew to really like it for that. It has some cheesy but very cool special effects for the time. You know, that eye that you see, that alien eye with the tentacles that was in that Tom Cruise version, that is here. And you can see where some of the inspiration came for that updated version that they did. And yeah, I just had a really good time with this movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. And as far as the video quality here, this is not 4K. This is only 1080p. But this was actually given a 4K restoration of the original camera negative, which basically means that now there is a 4K restoration of this film lying around. And unfortunately, it is not fully just 4K on this disc. It is downscaled to 1080p. It has very good edge definition for the time, and it has a lot less grain than other versions of this film that I have seen. When you're getting into detail here, this is where things are largely stepped up. You know, you get detail in grains of sand and dirt on the ground. There is a small amount of detail in the actual alien tech that is in this film, for how cheesy it actually is. There is textures that go into clothing and facial features and close-ups. And yeah, this is just a very, very good restoration as far as detail work is concerned. And as far as blacks are concerned, they dip perfectly to black. And there is some decent shadow definition here as well. A lot of the color tones and the overall just skin tones in this film are very well done here. I'm actually going to give this a 9 out of 10. I feel like they did a damn good job here. And as far as the audio, don't expect a Dolby Atmos mix here, because that's not what Criterion does, at least right now anyway. So what they did provide here is the original DTS 2.0 mix that has been floating around for quite a long time, and an upgraded DTS HD 5.1 mix that I actually listened to for this review because, hey, I like that upgraded oomph. And you know what? This does have good oomph. It has heft, and it definitely just isn't audio mix that is kind of just like thrown out there. Star of the show, bass response is excellent here. When the aliens shoot their cheesy ass lasers at you, they will have a lot of heft and bass response to it. It's really, really good in that regard. And then speaker separation is a lot better than you would expect here, and surrounds get used more heavily than you would expect as well. And then overall vocals and dialogue here is crisp, clear, and audible. And yeah, I'm going to give this another 9 out of 10. I feel like this is another home run. So Criterion does not do digital code, so there will be no digital code in this particular release. But don't worry about it, because they do not skimp on special features. So what you have on one disc, by the way, is something that is very cool. So what you have is, you know, my favorite special feature here is the original, you know, before this actually was a film, this was a radio broadcast. Everybody thought it was real and the world was actually ending. And it is the original radio broadcast that is ported over to here. That's great. And then along with that, you get about 6 or 7 special features that are featurettes that go into so much making of this film. Now, it isn't actually done by the people that actually made this film. It is a lot of people that know about the making of this film. This film was made a long time ago, and a lot of the people that actually worked on this movie aren't actually around today. For instance, Ben Burt actually comments on the sound design for a 30-minute featurette here, which is awesome. You know, he worked on a lot of the Star Wars sound design, and yeah, he knows what he's talking about. And then you get a commentary track that is done by some film historians that I think originally was around for the release previous to this one. And yeah, you get some gag reels and trailers as well. There is a whole lot here for you to watch. And yeah, Criterion really goes all out for its special features, and I'm going to give this another 9 out of 10. And getting into my last looks at War of the Worlds, the 1953 edition, this is very different than the Steven Spielberg, Tom Cruise version that is out there today. If you don't like the starkness of that movie and the kind of tonal shifts that it goes through, you might like this one better. It's cheesy, but it is consistently cheesy, and for that, I have to actually respect it for just owning up to itself. And that is why I like it a little bit better than the Steven Spielberg version. And when you add up all my scores for War of the Worlds, the 1953 version in Criterion edition, you come out to a 35 out of 40. That is because of the fact that it is a pretty damn good and fun movie with a great video and audio and special features packaged to match. This is the definitive version of this film out there today. So, what's coming up next? The Bruce Lee collection, of course, that Criterion put out recently. I will be reviewing that for you guys. And also, I actually just got in Spartacus. So, that is coming to you guys. That actually got released in 4K. That is coming to you guys as well. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't need to say it because you all know it. And I will see all of you next time.